Hi there.
This is a cool little grinder.
It's in the shape of a cutoff tool, which I guess is what it really is. I call it a grinder
because it uses
abrasive, not tooth. So it's not really a saw, but
it's got a nice powerful battery, goes up about 20,000 RPMs, and you notice it has a brake, so it stops instantly, which is a nice safety feature.
uses the Gearworks 24-volt
batteries, which are pretty powerful. One thing I want to bring out early on, I don't know if you can see it from this angle,
but the edge of this blade sticks just past
the fence, so you want to be careful. As soon as you use it for a second, it'll wear down and it won't, but wish the engineers had made
this fence go down just even a quarter inch further. The 3-inch discs
don't have a lot of momentum like a 4.5 inch. It's direct drive, it's a small motor, and it's cordless. So the great feature here is having a fence. You can lay it along a straight edge, but if you want to do any really hard cutting, your air
grinders with an abrasive cutoff on it are
going to cut a lot harder and faster. But also, I don't know that you'd want
to, if you're cutting like
20 gauge,
you can cut right through.
But if you're
going to cut some quarter-inch
material, you need to take shallow whacks at it. But for the price, that's pretty cool, and has a nice light here on the end. I don't know if you can see because we're outside, but has an LED light there in the end. Nice tool, nice balance. If you want something heavier or need something heavier, then you need to
shop appropriately.
But
for cutting
auto body thickness stuff, comes with this abrasive cutoff and a diamond blade and
another blade for masonry
stuff. And
it'll do a good job. So, cheers.
I decided to go ahead and produce a follow-up video now that I got some feedback from Greenworks Tech Support, which has advised me that their variable speed control is actually normal for it to make these jumps in RPM. Now, I'm about a 60-year-old technician who has used many variable speed power tools, and if I want to slowly start out with a drill bit or a screw, I do want it to start slowly. I don't want it to just suddenly jump into 150, 200 RPM as I pull that trigger. I want it to start out slowly and work precisely and bring up the speed as needed. I'm going to go ahead and demonstrate how this tool works. I'm going to slowly pull the trigger here. Slowly moving, pulling the trigger. It's moving in as we move in. And there's the first step, speed 1. About 180, 190 RPM. I'm going to slowly move, slowly bring it up. And there's speed 2, 500 RPM. Slowly moving. And there's speed 3, 7. It's kind of a little bit touchy right there. Somewhere between 720, 820. Slowly moving. It's kind of a mushy spot right there where it kind of fluctuates between 800 and 1,000. Slowly moving, and kind of a spot right there. Speed 4, speed 5, speed 4, speed 5. If I pulled all the way in, we kind of get almost to a speed 6 there. So there you go. 1, 2, 3. Slowly moving, You know, there is a little bit of variability right there. A little bit, still kind of jumps around. Speed 4 and speed 5. So there you go. That is pretty much a 5-speed control that is jumping about 200 or 300 RPM in between each step.
You are looking at the Greenworks impact driver on this side, and this is their power drill. These are the guys who make a lot of like lawnmowers and stuff like that. It's like a kind of like a basic line of tools. It's not your high-end set of tools you're going to use on the job or anything like that, but I thought I'd test these out, and I've kind of, you know, I wanted to test these out and so far I've been impressed. There are definitely a couple funny things about the tools, like they're not top of the line or anything like that, but they got a good feel to them. The funny thing on the impact driver is just the adapter here for the head. Instead of being able to just slide it in like you can with most chucks, you have to pop this open to slide it in. And then it's also got a little bit of play in there. So there's just a few little things like that. Like they're not perfect like a DeWalt or Milwaukee or some of the top of the line brands, but at the same time it's got some good stuff. It's got a connector here for a lanyard. This is the connector so you can hang it on your belt, and it comes with a set of, you know, driver bits, and the drill is just basic, like really basic standard drill. It's not a hammer drill. But it does have a setting right here for drilling. So at that point, so if you set it on drill, it's just going to keep going no matter what. And then these are the weak resistance settings. So if you set it all the way to 1 and you're screwing, it will stop pretty easily. Like you can just stop it with your hand. That way you won't strip things out. It's got a couple speeds, high and low, and it's a basic functional set. These guys from Greenworks, they usually make pretty good stuff, and it's the kind of thing that you could use as a homeowner, you could use it on small jobs. You know, why spend the amount for the top of the line stuff if you're not going to be using it every day on the job? All right, you are looking at the 24 volt impact driver from Greenworks. 24 volt, a lot bigger, actually, in terms of electron storage, battery storage, ultimate juice inside the battery, bigger than some of the other brands out there. Let me just say that I've been using Greenworks stuff for a while. I've got another impact drill driver set out here in my shop, and I've actually been pretty impressed by this stuff. I know a lot of guys on the job will use DeWalt, Milwaukee, Metabo, those really name brands, but this thing actually packs a punch. It's got some power as an impact driver. I like the overall feel. It's very balanced. And that 24 volt, it's just a bigger battery than some of the 18s and 22s you'll find. I know Metabo has a nice driver, impact driver, but it's an 18 volt, so a little bit less juice in the tank. It does have a variable speed, so you can just move kind of slow if you don't want the impact, or you just want to drive your deck screws in nice and slow, or you can turn this guy up and really crank. Like other impact drivers, you're not going to find a lot of settings on this thing. It's just got a forward and reverse button. It's got that LED light you saw up front. It stays illuminated for a few seconds. You can put a clip on the side. I always put the clip on the right side, or actually the left side, so it'll sit on the right side of my belt. It does come with a clip. It comes with a couple batteries and a charger. These Greenworks batteries, they have the readout on the front. This one's just about dead. But it's a 2 amp hour battery, so even when it's dead, you've still got a little bit of time left in the tank. This is a brushless impact driver, so you're not replacing brushes. It's just got a good feel to it. I think a lot of people, they think only those big name brands, Metabo, DeWalt, Milwaukee, only those guys can deliver a good impact driver, but these guys at Greenworks, they've been doing pretty good stuff, and like I said, it's got some good power.